Record. Okay, so welcome, everyone. Who is excited right now? Are you just flipping out over what you just saw? I mean, come on, you guys. The new branding is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It meant more people here. Okay, y'all hear me okay? I had to change to my AirPods there. Okay, good. But the new branding is so beautiful. And when you actually get to see it in person, oh my goodness, it's just so pretty. So let me share with you guys. Oh, I didn't mean to start with that one. That's a little weird. Whoops, hold up. This is when we were at Phoenix. How do I get to the next one? Oh, here's our slideshow. My bad. Okay, y'all can see the progress of a photo shoot. Didn't mean to start all the way back here. I'm sorry. I'll get there. Okay, here we go. Look at this, you guys. Look how beautiful. You've got Mega X, Ease, X Factor, Immune Plus, Nerve. It's gorgeous. Doesn't even begin to describe it. Look at our new greens packaging. So beautiful. And look how well it matches all the new slim packaging that we've been seeing. And Hydrate. You can see I'm a little bit excited. And something that I absolutely love about it is not just the look, it's also what it says, the little taglines that are included on each product. This one says digestive support through cleansing. It's a simple little tagline for BioCleanse, a simple little way to explain it. Jana, by the way, feel free, unmute. I just kind of jumped in because I'm so stinking excited. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm so excited. So excited for these new products, or not new products, but new branding. We have been waiting, and it has been very difficult to keep this secret because they're so beautiful. We have been waiting since January to share this with you all. So these bottles, I was actually talking with a few people ahead of time. The part that looks like glass and the wood, it's all plastic. If it was glass and actual wood, it would be a lot more expensive. It's all plastic. It's all good for you, BPA free plastic. Y'all, I am riding down the road with a dog on my lap, holding a computer, admitting people to a waiting room, sharing my screen. Oh, what's happening? Okay, anyways, I'm telling you, I feel crazy in here. I mean, just look up. I can't tell you how many times I've almost posted a picture from this event and one of these products has been in the background. And I'm like, oh, snap, I can't do that. But we have been wanting to share this with you guys. My personal favorite, Vital Biome. I absolutely love that product. It has made a world of difference in my life. Y'all, look how beautiful she is. I mean, can we just talk about that for a minute? Goodness gracious. Y'all, special announcement. Guess who's going to be on the Plexus Corporate Motivational Monday call? The one and only Jana Beth Hooten. Give it up. What? Be sure to tune in this Monday to Motivational Monday because she is the speaker for Plexus Worldwide, going on
coming
all
up
of our ambassadors.
a week from today.
Oh, I'm sorry. A week. I'm excited. See, guys, I'm just so excited about everything. I can't wait for things at this point. A week from today, make sure your teams know about it. You know, look how pretty Metaburn is. My gosh, I forgot. I didn't get a picture of Metaburn. I'm just seeing Jana's. It's so pretty. That's one of my favorite products too. It's made such a difference for me. And then, of course, you've got Balance and Block. Y'all, you're going to want to keep these bottles to store other things in. Someone was asking me if you could take the labels off. I don't know. We weren't allowed to try. But probably. Y'all, look at this. Look how beautiful this is. It's gorgeous. I mean, can we all just give yourself a high five right now? I mean, because this is amazing. You kind of look goofy doing it, but who cares? It's just so beautiful. I don't know who did this picture and who's got that fancy of a spoon, but I need to get to know that person. That is a fancy schmancy spoon right there. We will post all of these pictures on Pink Link. especially the ones, I don't know if you want to post the ones that we're in, but the ones that we have of the products, we will post them and you can share them. Guys, it's amazing. Like I said, I just kind of jumped into this, and I know we have some new people on this call, and we have some people who are maybe coming back to Plexus. Welcome back, and welcome to all of our new people. My name is Amber Livesay. Let me just stop right there. Liz Aldridge texted me last week. She said, every time you say your name now, I think you're saying it wrong. It's a whole long story. We don't know what our last name is. We're the Livesays, the Livesays. We answer to anything. Just call us and we'll come. Okay. But anywho, I am half of the Pink Link team. My sister, another Diamond Ambassador, Jana Hooten, is the other amazing half of that. And like I said, she'll be Motivational Monday a week from this Monday. But you guys, coming up that same Monday, next Monday, April 18th, we also have a team call that night. Remember, I'm doing our Monday night team calls with the one and only, drum roll please, Sonia Dudley. You guys, this woman, am I frozen? Can y'all see me? Okay.
You're good now.
Everybody else froze a little bit on my screen. In a minute, I'm going to turn the hosting over to Sarah just in case my internet goes wonky. But that's a good old East Tennessee word. I've been up here too long. It goes wonky. But Sonia Dudley, Jana would agree with me. Y'all, she taught us Plexus. She really did. We didn't have a lot of the training that we have now. She taught us Plexus. Get on that call. Make sure your teams know about it. I'll be getting a graphic ready probably right after we get off this call because I got nothing else to do. And I'll post that for you guys. Then the next week, I'm going to go and let you guys in on this. April 25th, a big drum roll, because just for our team, we've got the one, the only, from Plexus Corporate. Y'all, just for our team. What? It's going to be amazing. Don't miss that call. And
Amber,
then
you cut out. Say her name again. You kind of cut out.
Secret. Should leave it that way and just leave y'all on the edge of your seats. It's the one and only Genevieve Scory. Genevieve, Jana, you tell them.
All right.
Y'all hear me?
Yes. Next week, the 18th, Sonia Dudley. The next week, the 25th, Genevieve Scory. And then the week after that, which we're into May at that point, I don't know what the date is. May 2nd, the one, the only, our upline, Double Diamond, Celeste Gwynn. All right. So the next 3 Mondays, you will not want to miss. If you want to know how to run a successful Plexus business, you better show up the next 3 Mondays. Okay. Amber, did you have anything else?
I don't think so. That was about it.
Okay. I wanted to answer a couple questions before we turn this over to our speaker for tonight, which you guys, I'm going to give you just a second while I'm talking. Keep listening. But if you do not have some pen and paper, if there's ever been a call that you're going to want to take notes on, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be tonight. So grab a pen and paper. Okay. I just want to answer a few questions because we are all so excited. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not. I literally just found this out, but there will be another little surprise in the morning. So tomorrow at some point, I don't know, but there'll be a little surprise. Okay. You guys noticed that they said tonight that starting tomorrow, all new customers who order the triplex will get the new packaging. Now, what they are doing, my understanding, and I may have to come back correct this, but I just want everybody to be prepared. They are going to continue with the old packaging until we run out. We are not a wasteful company, and nor do any of us want the cost of just trashing all those products and putting new products in the new packages. So some of the products will still continue to come in the old packaging. All right. So I don't want you guys think if you go place an order for everything under the sun tomorrow, you're going to get it in the new packaging, because my understanding is you probably won't until the classic packaging that we have right now is gone. Okay, so more details will come out on that. I'm getting lots of questions about that, and more details will come about that. I think even as early as tomorrow, we will know a little bit better of how this is going to look, the timeline, how this is all going to roll out. Okay. And then somebody asked me about the kids line, and that was such a good question, because that is not in the picture. My guess, and I feel like somebody told me this, is that they won't be changing the packaging on the kids line. And I'm kind of glad. I love the packaging on the kids line. It goes really well with this new packaging, and it looks super kid friendly. So I don't think that they're changing that. And then they are also, somebody also asked about active in a container. I have not heard anything about that. The only thing I saw was hydrate. I would love if they put active in a container. I have actually recommended that. Like, how fun would that be for all of our drink mixes, like all of them, to come in packets that we could travel with, and tubs that we could just leave on our counters, right? Like, I've recommended that, so we'll see. But I'm not that I have any pull, but if you guys go recommend it too, and enough people ask for it, they just might do it.
Listen. So today I'm trying to get our vitamins from the back seat out of our Plexus bag that I have them all stuffed in. And my greens and collagen hit me right in the head. So I'm all for the packets in all of our drinks.
It would be so nice to have both. It would be so nice. But listen tomorrow, because there is a special little surprise for everyone coming tomorrow. I'm obviously will post on the team page, but check your email. There'll be a little surprise. Well, it's really a big surprise. I think you'll be very happy. So watch for that tomorrow. All right, so let's dive into our call tonight. We are so excited. And before we even knew the official date of when they were going to announce this to y'all, I had already planned this call. So when I had asked the one and only, our favorite nutritionist, Sarah Gallander, to do this call tonight, I was like, oh, but then we're doing the brand evolution call. And then I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. It is one thing to have a pretty bottle. We know that people love a pretty bottle. We know they're drawn to it, but what is in the bottle is obviously what is most important. That is what actually ends up changing people's life. The packaging draws them in, it gets them excited, it makes them want to take it. But we know what's inside of it is really, truly going to be what's going to keep them around. And that's what the business is all about, right? So I am just going to turn this over to her. You guys know her, you love her, and she has some really, really exciting stuff, I think, for us tonight. Get your pen and paper handy. I got to grab mine. And Sarah, take it over.
All right. Hello, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I am Sarah Gallander. I am a certified functional nutritionist, blood chemistry analyst, and all the fun things. Basically, I love that, we've got this beautiful new packaging, but what's on the inside is what counts. And that's just like your body. Like, the outside matters, but what's inside and how you're functioning and how it works and everything is what counts. And that really kind of parlays nicely. And when I was talking to Jana about this, and I was like, oh, we can do like beyond the bottle. Any of you that know me know I love my crazy little marketing sayings. And so beyond the bottle tonight is going to be a little bit, well, beyond the bottle. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen here so we can kind of get going. I do have slides for tonight, so we're going to get that going. And so we've got our packaging and our favorites. We're not going to talk about these two. I didn't make the graphic, but we are going to talk about a few of these. So basically, thought we'd throw in a new little picture here of all the pretty little, I love the packaging. And what's really cool is it kind of looks like the colors that we used for a new you in 22. I was like, oh, we were totally on the forefront of that, and I didn't even know it. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into just a few products on the inside. And especially if those of you that are new, raise your hand. Like, I'd love to see who is new here, because we've got a lot of new people. And then even for veterans, like, just really getting that solid product knowledge is going to be helpful for you. One of the things that I took away from tonight is, we have an opportunity to position the products to empower transformation, because everyone's health journey is about transforming them, not, you transforming them, not you transforming your customers, but your customers walking along the journey and then being transformed by the products, and then also by your encouragement. So the great thing about this is that it gives you the opportunity to really meet people where they are. And your story is what draws them in, but then you get to have the opportunity to really position the products that's specific for them. So I know everyone get all excited, and they have their personal story, and they have the reasons why they got into Plexus and use the products. And we really want to, always share that, but you have to remember that everyone is different biochemically. And we have a great lineup of beautiful products externally and internally. I love the clean. I mean, I have been digging for a few weeks now, like really analyzing I go through a lot. I'm a product snob. So, and it took me a while to come over to the Plexus side. When they changed the formulation of Slim is when I kind of was like, yes, I'm in. And then I've always loved the probiotic. It is an amazing, amazing probiotic. And I'm going to tell you about a little experiment I did, and we're going to see if Probio 5 passed or not. But the beautiful thing is we get to position these products that we know and love to really help empower and further transformation. And how do we do that? We chase the why. You guys have heard me in any product class or any challenge class that I've led. I am always preaching about what's your why? What's your why? So not just your why, but your customers. And then you're going to help figure out how to align those products to your customer. And I really want to give you a great solid ground so that you can understand what it is behind the product that gives it that transformation. So here's a little overview of what we're going to go on. We're going to talk about beyond the bottle. We're going to go specifically into ingredients, not like we're not getting nitty gritty. we're going to be label sleuths. I'm going to help you go through that. And then specifically with triplex, and then active, greens, hydrate, and ease. This is like the Fab Four that gets not a lot. I just figured triplex, we've got the 3, and then we've got the Fab Four. How about that? So we've got these 4 are very underrated, and this ease, that is like my favorite product ever. And I'm going to tell you why I love that one the most. And then beyond the bottle, we're going to talk a little bit about synergy and why products are important to work together. Beyond the bottle training, just where you can find a lot of the stuff that was just launched, a lot of the things that we talk about in the Pink Link group, and some ways that you can get this extra support. Because sometimes when you're new, it's like fire hydrants in, water coming from a fire hose. And you're like, I don't know where to start, but I'm not an expert and I don't know all those things. It's okay. It's definitely okay that you don't know all the things. You know the products that drew you in. And then by having the conversation and listening to other people's story, you'll be able to figure out which products fit you. And I'm going to help you do a little bit of that in the Beyond the Bottle with the customers section, and then tell you a little bit about what we have coming up for that. So let's dive into I totally stole the first picture that you just posted, Jana. Beyond the Bottle triplex. We're going to go with the ingredients. So we should by now know that triplex is comprised of 3, the triple threat. We've got the triple threat and the Fab Four. So the triple threat is your Probio 5, your Bio Cleanse, and your microbiome activating, or your hunger control Slim. So we're going to go into a little bit each of each of those. So we're going to start with Bio Cleanse. Bio Cleanse, and I'm going to stop my video so you aren't distracted by me, and we can look at all the things. Bio Cleanse is the very first one. It's part of it's not weed. It is something that weeds in this process. So when we're talking about gut health, and that has become like this really important topic, in the health world. Like everyone's finally catching on. And I've seen a few posts and people are like, oh my gosh, I've been talking about this for like 5 years. Where have y'all been? It's okay. Let them come. You know, you're meeting people where they are, remember, on their path to transformation. So by doing that, BioCleanse is that very first process in being able to weed out the garden, so to speak. So it's not weed, but it weeds. So it's comprised of some really great ingredients. So we're going to look at the label here, and the label, it has vitamin C. It has magnesium hydroxide. It's important to understand that this is a different form of magnesium. I'm not asking you guys to be chemistry experts. I just want you to make sure that you understand this, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. It does have sodium. This is not table salt sodium. This is not the sodium that inflames your heart or causes heart disease. This is the sodium that's important for that balance in your and actually in your gut and in your cells, how they work. Sodium bicarbonate is another thing that's important for the homeostasis. And then you've got citrus bioflavonoids. It's a really big word. Basically, these are just really good things that help push things through the intestinal wall. The big player in this is magnesium, and magnesium hydroxide. What this form of magnesium does is it allows the water to be drawn in from the colon and be able to push things out. Hence the word cleanse. So it really does act like a cleansing agent. I kind of think of the little like scrubbing bubbles, the harsh cleaners that none of us should be using to reduce our toxin load and help our gut be the best that it can be. It goes in there and it kind of scrubs out and cleans out all the stuff that's stuck to the lining, and it pulls the water in from the intestines, and then it combines with vitamin C and it allows it to just cleanse right out of the system. It is meant to move your bowels. That is what it is for. I want to make sure that you guys, whenever you're posting, make sure that you don't say, oh, this form of magnesium is great. This one isn't this one doesn't really get absorbed into the system in those the other forms of magnesium that's like in hydrate does. This form of magnesium is not the magnesium that they talk about when they talk about magnesium being it's an amazing element. Let me just make sure that you understand that, but it's not the one that's getting absorbed into most pathways. So this one is specifically designed to help move it through the system and move it. It's a bowel cleanser is really what it is. Not explosive diarrhea bowel cleanser, because we're going to teach you how to use it. So if you look at the label, so most people are what we call inliers. They fall within they can follow the label. It's not a big deal. You can take 2 capsules with 8 ounces. And what's really important is when it talks about using it with the triplex weight loss regimen. So basically as part of the trifecta, so the microbiome or the Slim, the BioCleanse, and the ProBio 5. The BioCleanse, you take 2 capsules twice daily between meals. That's really, really important. I know a lot of times we're like, okay, take 2 at night, take 2 in the morning. If you're within normal range and your bowels are normal typically, or you're maybe just having 1 a day, or you're having 1 every other day, follow the label on this one. If you're the outlier are the ones where it's, they're either constipated or they're having diarrhea. Constipation peeps should probably start I would say within this label too, but you can actually space out the dosing. And that's what's really important, is not taking it all at once. Don't take all of your BioCleanse at night or all of your BioCleanse in the morning if you're constipated. You don't want it to move too quickly to where you have a rapid detox. You want to space it out throughout the day. So you could do 1 capsule in the morning upon waking, 1 capsule between breakfast and lunch, 1 capsule between dinner and lunch, and then 1 capsule before bedtime. Those gets your 4 capsules, because it does also say on the label, I don't have this on here because it wouldn't fit and you wouldn't be able to read it, but it says it is really important that you don't exceed that suggested daily serving. That's always put on there for a reason. Those are for typical we know that we're going to do what we need to do, which is why I didn't put it on here for compliance reasons. But make sure that the biggest thing to take away from this is space out this particular product if you're constipated. If they're having frequent bowels, start with one. Because we do not want to induce more diarrhea. We want to induce the cleansing component with the vitamin C, the citrus bioflavonoids, the sodium bicarbonate to kind of neutralize the colon. So the magnesium then doesn't become like we make them have more diarrhea. You may find that people will have they'll have a ramp up potentially of more not necessarily diarrhea, or maybe loose stools the first few days. That's not necessarily because just of the BioCleanse product. It could be because of die-off and detox that's happening. So I just wanted to make sure that you really understand what that means as far as using this product and using this product within the label. And then for the outliers, you can kind of adjust the dosing. The big thing is really spacing it out to make sure that it becomes effective. So I love BioCleanse is good. It's a good one, but remember, this magnesium is not the magnesium that you absorb. We'll talk about the magnesium you absorb later on, but this is a great, it's not as harsh on the system like a milk of magnesia or like a magnesium citrate. If any of you have done a bowel prep and had to prep for a colonoscopy and you drink that either lemon lime or the berry, they try to make it taste good and it just doesn't. That's magnesium citrate, and that really is designed to literally clean you out. So this magnesium, when it's paired with vitamin C, allows for that cleanse to happen. And then there's it helps transport oxygen. It's a really good, product. Hold on, I need to enter a couple of people in real quick. Okay. All right, moving on. There we go. Stole another photo. ProBio 5. This one actually weeds and seeds. I love ProBio 5. ProBio 5 is like the reason Plexus can do what it can do is because this product is so amazing. When I was dealing with my personal story, I had Lyme disease, and I was on all kinds of things, and I rotate my probiotics frequently. But one of the things was I would have to combine Saccharomyces. I would have to combine a probiotic blend, like with strains, and also serrapeptase. And it was like, 8 pills total. This has it all. This one has it all. So when we look at the label for this one, it's got our lovely vitamin C. Vitamin C is fantastic for all kinds of cellular mechanisms, and it's great for inflammation. When you look at the enzyme blend, this is what sets ProBio 5 apart, is because it has protease, cellulase, and serrapeptase. Protease helps break down those proteins. Cellulase helps break down cellulose, which then converts to sugars. And then serrapeptase, this is like the powerhouse right here of enzymes. It actually breaks down the biofilm. Biofilm is something that it's like a little bubble. If you think of, I think of The Incredibles, and Violet, she had her force field and nothing could touch her inside in her little force field. It's like a force field for the bad bacteria. And so serrapeptase helps kind of break apart that biofilm to be able to let the good bacteria kind of take over. And then the BioCleanse helps flush all that stuff out. So we look at this enzyme blend. This is really unique to a probiotic, and it helps it do what it needs to do in the intestines. The probiotic blend. So these are big words. This basically is a bunch of bacteria is what it is, but each of them plays a specific part. One of them helps treat diarrhea and prevent candida. That's the first one, the lactobacillus acidophilus. We think of, this is what people go to when they think of a probiotic. Oh, I'll just eat more yogurt and I'll be good. Okay. Sure, that's great, but that's like one strain, and it doesn't have all the enzymes, and it doesn't have the other things. Yes, yogurt is great, and I'm a whole foods person, and yes, eat your yogurt if you can tolerate it. But this particular bacteria strain what it does is it helps breaks down carbohydrates because it releases lactic acid, and then that helps break down the carbohydrates. So that's really, really important. The this particular one, Bifidobacterium longum, so like I'm in a, I don't know, Latin book here. This one has been studied specifically for anxiety, and it's also resistant to stomach acid and bile. So this is a really important one. You don't see this one. You're going to see lactobacillus, the 2 lactobacillus strains in a lot of probiotics. You rarely see this one. So this strain of itself is a perfect reason to purchase ProBio 5, in my opinion. This particular one, Lactobacillus plantarum, that one attacks the bad bacteria. So that's kind of like the general or the army of, hey guys, we're going to go in and kill all the bad guys. They go attack the bad bacteria while serrapeptase blows out the force field. And then it helps get that bad bacteria moving through the colon through BioCleanse. Saccharomyces boulardii, this is like the go-to. Whenever I'm seeing any of my patients, I make sure that they're always on Saccharomyces boulardii. Saccharomyces is a good yeast. It is a yeast that helps prevent that candida overgrowth. So it kind of is like the big brother of yeast and keeps the younger ones at bay. Any of you that have younger siblings and you know that you're kind of always left in charge sometimes when growing up, that's kind of what Saccharomyces does. It's like the guy, the big brother, the big sister that's like, okay, guys, chill out. I can't let you get over control. We're not overpowering the babysitter tonight. That's what that does it from a yeast perspective. So Saccharomyces is the good yeast, and the good yeast is what we want. And then grapeseed extract is really good for just inflammation. The recommendation is to take 1 capsule daily at bedtime, and then you can take up to 4 initially at bedtime. So a good loading dose for people who've never been on a probiotic before would be to be between that. I would start off slow, and then if they tolerate that at nighttime, if they tolerate it well, start off with 1. Within 3 days, if they're doing okay, they don't have any massive diarrhea, they kind of let the BioCleanse you kind of ramp that up, then you can increase to 2 to 3. And then one thing they'll notice too, if their sugar cravings are starting to drop, this is a great one that can help with that. That's usually the first thing that people notice. I'm also a big fan of splitting the dose as well. So doing, especially if you're kind of in that ramp up phase, doing 2 capsules in the morning or 2 capsules in the evening. If you've been on this product for a long time, it's a good time to switch it up, and you can save 1 for before bedtime, but I like to do it right at the end of a meal. 1, because the enzymes in it are really good for just that enzyme activation. It allows then the seeding to take place. So the seeding is what we're focusing on here. The weeding helps also with a lot of these enzymes, and then a couple of the strains are weeds, but the seeders are the ones that are going to go in and plant that seed for the good bacteria to take root. So this is a good lineup of 4 fantastic strains that you do not see typically. So I did an experiment, and I would show it to you, but it's kind of gross. So I constantly am evaluating probiotics, and I get called all the time. Oh, I've got this new one. Will you check it out? Oh, I've got this new one. Will you check it out? Sure, no problem. So I decided to take a couple of probiotics in my arsenal that I have recommended to people, as well as one that came across from a new product review that someone asked me to do. Hey, I'm taking this one. And then I also have my Plexus one, because I love incorporating this one into as many people as I can possibly get when we go down the probiotic phase. And so what you do is you kind of take a fourth a cup of milk, and you open up the capsule and you let it sit. Well, first the milk has to be room temperature, and then you open up the capsule of the probiotic, put it in the milk, and if it cultures, AKA curdles, and it does some activity, you know your probiotic is live and it has enzymes that are working for you. I'm not kidding, within 2 hours, ProBio 5 really started changing the milk. The other one the other 2 that I did as well, and then there was another one that really the one that someone just asked me to review didn't do anything. So I had to tell them, yeah, sorry, your product didn't pass the live culture test. So you sit it overnight, and the next morning, and it's funny because I had to go to the hospital with my dad the next day. And so I left this milk sitting out on the counter with these little bowls. And I told my husband, I'm like, okay, I need you to take pictures and send it to me. And he's like, and please don't throw it away. Well, I've known this man for like 25 years, since we went to high school together, and he's been through me through all of my chemistry labs and everything. So this is not new for him. I'm constantly running, side experiments. And he's like, oh my goodness, this one's like really active. I think this one's passing your test. So ProBio 5 totally passed the test. It is a fantastic probiotic that is live. If anyone's done any classes or follow anyone called the Blender, I think she's called the Blender Girl, or no, Green Smoothie Girl. That's what she is. She's got great recipes. This was what she had suggested to do as an experiment. And I was like, all right, we're going to do it. And she always is bashing network marketing companies. And I'm like, I'm just going to see. Totally pass. And I'm going to totally write her and say, well, Robin, you need to like really up your ante and check again, because this one passed your test, and you can totally recommend it because it's a fantastic product. So just like we were talking about the transparency of what, our products have, and now it matches the beautiful packaging on the outside. This one is by far one of my favorites. And then we have the feeding mechanism. So we've got slim, microbiome activating, and hunger control. So what they have in common, the ingredient that they have in common is chromium polynicotinate. Okay, that's a really big word. Does anyone, I'm just curious if anyone, okay, I'll start my video again because I'm so animated when I talk. Does anyone know the typical chromium that typically goes in these types of products for hunger control? Does anyone know? If you want to just guess, you can kind of put in the chat. I'm curious if anyone knows what kind of chromium always gets talked about and it's not polynicotinate. It's actually chromium picolinate. Chromium picolinate is not what's in microbiome activating or hunger control. Chromium picolinate is what's in a lot of other where they call weight loss targeted products. And it is, it's got a lower absorption. It's a lower absorption of chromium in the blood, but it also has a lot more side effects. What is beautiful about, again, clean products, chromium paired with nicotinate, so it's niacin in this particular one, it actually helps the blood kind of cleanse even further. And it has fewer side effects than chromium picolinate. So I just wanted to, that's really technical. And I don't mean for y'all to like memorize that. I just got really geeked out when I really was like, oh, I saw chromium P and thought it was chromium picolinate. Chromium polynicotinate is a fantastic product because it's combined with niacin. So that's actually good for blood sugar control. That's good for blood pressure. It's just all kinds of good things. So you can see the chat here. So when we look at microbiome activating, what is the differentiator? Okay, so chromium, we've established that that's the common denominator. Sodium is in there too. Again, this is not table salt. This is not bad sodium. This is not something that we need, not NaCl. This has the xylooligosaccharide. Whew, that's a mouthful. So if you ever needed like a Scrabble word that starts with an X, put this one in there and you'll get massive amounts of points. Plus, this is a prebiotic. So this is what feeds the probiotic. This is what feeds the good bacteria. This is what allows, so it's got that weed, seed, and feed. So this is the feeding mechanism. Now, this one says, drink 30 to 60 minutes, but up to twice daily. This is on the Plexus website. This is wrong. This should say 30 because there's 30 servings per container, not 3. Just a little typo there. But one packet is considered one serving. You can, for someone who is very sensitive and is someone that might be sensitive, I would actually start them on a half a packet twice a day. So a half a packet in the morning and a half a packet in between their lunch and their dinner. Or if they have nighttime cravings, doing that half a packet between dinner and bedtime, so they don't have that nighttime snacking. The only time that I just would not recommend microbiome activating first is for anyone with IBS. I know this sounds counterintuitive, just stick with me here. IBS or IBD. IBD are your Crohn's and your ulcerative colitis folks. And IBS is anyone else outside of that that's been diagnosed with like recurring constipation, diarrhea, like specific IBS for that. And the reason why is it's too much too quickly. I would start them on hunger control first. So this one, especially if someone's following, I don't know if any of y'all have heard of FODMAP. It's kind of becoming a popular thing as a dietary nutrient framework. FODMAPs are your all of your oligosaccharides. So they're carbohydrates is what they are. And they are specifically targeted to gastric. You don't want to put someone on this particular one if they're following a FODMAP diet. Hunger control is going to be your better one for the ultra sensitive person. And if you got your normal one or someone that's, your typical person that wants to just get better, or they want to really go after their gut microbiome and really address their gut health, this one is fine. Start them off on this one and it's great. But a lot of times we have some of those really ultra sensitive people, or people that have really a lot of gastric issues, gastroparesis, like your Crohn's, your ulcerative colitis, they've had their gallbladder removed. That might be someone that you want to start a little bit on hunger control instead of the microbiome first. You can move to microbiome once we've kind of cleared up some of that gut, and then it becomes a really positive experience. But doing too much too quickly can really turn people off if they aren't expecting it, and also can do a lot more damage than good. So I really just wanted you to make sure that you understood the difference between the two Slims. Slim is a really good product because it does feed that. But the Slim microbiome activating is not really one that you want to put a sensitive person on. And then once you're transitioning them off of hunger control, you can do like the half packets, half of a packet. And then it builds consistency, and it builds it doesn't scare them off. People start pooping like 20 times a day and they get freaked out and they're like, I need to go see my GI. As long as you explain, look, you're going to have some die-off, you're going to have some gastric upset. It is with the first 3 to 5 days are the hardest for any metabolic shift, period. Headaches, gastric upset, belching, flatulence, all the fun stuff can happen in those first 3 to 5 days. Do not be discouraged as long as you prep them and let them know that that is normal. Now, if it gets beyond that, then that's when we really want to start addressing, well, maybe we need to flip up the timing, or maybe we need to, and then you come send them to me and I'll help walk you through that. The hunger control, the difference here is the polydextrose. So polydextrose is a fiber, a synthetic fiber. So this is like a man-made fiber. It's definitely one that fills up. It allows your stomach to, your colon, not necessarily your stomach. It allows your colon to kind of feel that fullness factor. And it is also a glucose molecule. It's made from polydextrose, is literally meaning many sugars. So it is, but it's a fiber. So don't freak out. We hear the word sugar and we kind of go crazy. I mean, whoever that has been a trend that is like, okay, we don't need to get freaked out about sugar. Sugar is necessary. The good sugar, the good glucose. This is one that is a fiber blend. It is a synthetic fiber. So this is a better one to start people on that are ultra sensitive. And again, if they're super, super sensitive, go for that half a pack a day. And then move to half a pack twice a day after about 3 to 4 days once they tolerate it. And then you can move to a full one. Everyone is different. And so it's going to be, remember really listening to what their story is to help them with that transformation. It is a non-digestible, so to be considered like an insoluble fiber. It's used in a lot of products to help that hunger full. So that's why it's called hunger control. I mean, it's kind of smart. I forgot the other common denominator is your blend, and that's got the green coffee bean extract. So basically bean extract is not the same thing as green bean, like as green coffee. So the extract actually isn't have a lot of caffeine. That's why it says it's less than 2%. So it's not like equivalent to a full cup of coffee or anything crazy like that. It's the extract. So there's a very little amount in there. And then the Garcinia cambogia fruit, that one is also a hunger appetite suppressant. The alpha lipoic acid is phenomenal for inflammation. We don't know how much is in there. Trust me, I've called the scientific team like so many times. They're like, oh my gosh, this lady needs to go away. But they won't tell me. So it's okay. That's fine. It's part of the proprietary blend, the alpha, just knowing that alpha lipoic acid that is in there. It's really great for inflammation. So inflammation is usually at the heart of every single gut issue known to man. And again, the way to drink this one is really that 30 to 60 minutes before a meal, because it really helps curb that hunger. And then here's something that used to be talked about a lot when you're eating a meal. They used to say, drink a full glass before, drink a glass during, and then drink a glass after to curb your hunger. Okay, so that's like the worst advice ever, because what it does is it dilutes all of the enzymes, and it dilutes all of your bile and the acid that you need to break things down. So by just kind of shifting that mindset and saying, hey, just drink your hunger control before your largest meal, if you're going to do it just once a day, or if you want to split it and do it twice a day. Again, we want to make sure that we don't go over 600 micrograms of chromium per day. So that's why they say you can safely have 2 a day, whether it's a slim hunger control or a microbiome activating. You can interchange both of them if you are, past that point of where you're gone through that massive detoxing component. You don't want to pile on all the things all at once for someone who's just starting out, because they can do a rapid, they could rapidly detox too quickly, and then then they're going to have more problems than when they came to you, and you don't want that. So hunger control and microbiome activating, the slim is a really important component of that trifecta or the triplex, because it is the feeding component. So you've got your weed, your seed, and your feed. I'll answer questions at the end, so I want to get through this. This is a really bad pixelated picture, but it's what I got from the website. So Active, I love Active. Active is one of my favorite products. It has so many great benefits, and I love that it's active. It doesn't mean necessarily just like an energy drink. I think people think that, and I'm glad that they didn't name it like energy, because people then equate, I'm going to have this burst of energy. That's not necessarily true. I guarantee anybody that's used this and then stopped using it, it's not like you notice this burst of energy that happens, but you do notice that you can contain activity much longer than you could before. So that is the sign of a really great energy drink, because it means that it's not spiking. Well, most of them contain sugar. So it means you're really getting your energy from a quick sugar source or a massive, massive dose of caffeine. All of these kids in college right now that are drinking all of these energy drinks are getting explosive amounts of caffeine that are going to be damaging to their heart, when they really just need the sustained active to remain active throughout the day. That's really what this product does. So when we look at the label here, we see mix it with 12 to 16 ounces of water and shake immediately. Okay, that's great. This one you can actually heat up. Your slims do not heat them up, because it changes the activation of the saccharides in there, and it doesn't make it as effective. So you cannot heat that one, but you can heat this one if you want to add it to your tea, if you want to add it to, if you're doing the fun intermittent fasting tea where you're adding apple cider vinegar. We even had we had the active apple cider, or one that was only at Christmas. I'm sorry. I forgot. Sarah, I have a couple bags for her actually. So going with, when we look at this, we look at that it's got carbohydrates, the total sugars, the 2 added sugars. This is not, it's not like 15 grams. It's not like, you know, a whole bunch. And we're getting the total sugars you've got are really from more of a carbohydrate perspective. The added sugars are from a lot of your things that come in from your fruits. So great vitamin profile. Vitamin A is very underrated. Here's that fantastic vitamin C again. We've got your B complex. So really it's a good B complex. And what's beautiful about this and makes me so incredibly happy is that it is methylated. And what all you need to know is that if somebody asks you, are your supplements methylated? Yes, they are. The only folate, the only one that's not is nerve in the folate. That one isn't the full methylfolate. But this is for that. This is what helps with that, getting it into the cell and able to work and into the tissues to where it's supposed to do that. And then the proprietary blend, you can't, it's kind of grainy here, but all of these are amino acids. We've got caffeine from the green tea and the yerba mate. So all of that's a clean green, that's a clean caffeine. Panax ginseng is fantastic. You've got green coffee bean extract. So these are those extracts again that are really meant more for the inflammation. So when you hear that green tea is great for inflammation, this is the part that the bean extract is really what does that. So this is kind of like the S7, your bean extract, your green leaf, your turmeric, your rhizome, your tart cherry. These are all helping with that inflammatory process. So it's great actually for muscle recovery. It's great for recovery after, a great combination is mixing this with hydrate for a post-workout drink. Even a pre-workout drink is great to kind of front load the cell for that. So if you've got some fitness people, I would always lead with Active. Active is a fantastic recovery drink. It's also, like I said, a good pre-drink for any workout component, but it's also great for that. And you can mix it with Slim, that's fine. If you're sensitive to caffeine, you definitely don't want to do this, you know, after 2 p.m., 3 p.m. But if you're finding that you're having that afternoon slull or lump, because maybe you've got some hormonal imbalance happening or your blood sugar regulation is off, this can help kind of stave off that afternoon crash. So, and it's just, like I said, it's not a burst of energy. So it's really important that people understand when we use the word energy drink, that's what they're going to think, but you're going to say, no, it's giving you sustained active energy that's allowing it to last. So you're not going to notice that burst because that's not what it's designed to do. You won't, and you don't want the burst because that means you'll crash harder. So that's why this is such a beautifully comprised product, because of what it does and how it's made. Greens is one of my favorite new products. Greens and Active are great combined together. Greens are usually gritty, and this one's a little gritty, I'm not gonna lie, because it is. I mean, good Lord, we're trying to get green. It's going to be a little gritty, but it's way less gritty than more than half, than like 99% of the greens products out there. It does have it has a sweeter flavor, and that's because of the stevia extract that's in there. So if you have someone that's sensitive to stevia, or they get that film taste in the back of their mouth, just make sure that they can dilute it. They can dilute it a little bit more to help minimize that effect. That does help. So when we look at the label of greens, what I look for in a greens product is to make sure that it has not just wheatgrass. Like everyone has like wheatgrass and oatgrass and they call it a greens product. You want to have some type of superfood like a chlorella or a spirulina. And there is 15 grams of spirulina in this, which is amazing. This is a superfood. This is like, this does so much greatness for the cell. You could literally have greens every day, and it would just enhance your hydration, and it would enhance the antioxidant effect, because let's be real, who's eating 5 to 7 cups of that fruits and vegetables a day? I mean, I don't even get 7 fruits and vegetables a day, because, you know, that's like half of a garden, for crying out loud. So we've got vegetable blend, your fermented fruit and vegetable blend. This is an important word, fermented. Fermented, anytime you see fermented, that means it's going to be like a prebiotic. It's going to feed that gut that you've been working so hard to clear. And it gives it the good food to get the good bacteria in. Here we go again, fermented ginger rhizome. This is great. Ginger and rhizome are great for inflammation, and it's great for digestive upset. A lot of times when we have a lot of greens in our diet, and it creates a lot of gas because it's a cruciferous vegetables, especially the cruciferous vegetables that are in here. You may have some digestive upset with that. If you do, you need to double check and see what happens when that is happening. A lot of times people without gallbladders tend to have a trouble with this one just because their biliary tree, their bile isn't working effectively because they had that organ removed. So it's best to take this with their probiotic then. But really overall, this is a great one to have daily. You can have this one daily. You can mix it with more than the 16 ounces. Then we go into hydrate, and this one was super sweet for me, but I love the lemon lime. It's just kind of a cleaner, fresher, it feels, I don't know, it feels better. It feels like a party in my mouth. Hydrate is fantastic for an electrolyte balance. And the thing that you see, I know everyone gets like all hyped up on the sugar because it doesn't have any sugars. It does have stevia extract again, but that to give it that sweeter flavor. But everyone keeps comparing, like Liquid IV and Propel and Pedialyte. Well, Pedialyte doesn't really have any sugar, but that's what they compare these to. And they're like, it doesn't have sugar. This is why. Okay, that's great. And that's a good first line. But this profile of electrolytes, you are not going to find magnesium in most of the electrolyte drinks out there. And remember when I was talking about magnesium before and BioCleanse isn't bioavailable? This one is bioavailable. This particular magnesium does get absorbed. It's a magnesium citrate, and it is actually, it's one of the most bioavailable forms of magnesium. So this is a great drink to have, especially when you are, really daily. We are all completely depleted on a lot of these electrolytes because our soil is just completely depleted of all the good things as well. But hydration is super important. So being able to have the good balance of sodium and potassium, then it has zinc in here too. So you've got all of the major electrolytes: sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, vitamin C. All of those are really important when you're looking at an electrolyte balance. So this is a great combo product to put with any of your drink mixes. It's a good one to add with it, or it's a great one by itself. This one is good for recovery if you're doing massive cardio, or great for kids in sports. I gave this to the entire tennis team, and I was like, okay, you need to anytime they would have me do snacks, they love it because I don't give them like crap. We have like good fruits and vegetables, but I also stick a hydrate packet in each one of their water bottles. I'm like, please drink this instead of the Gatorade that you are literally crashing on and destroying your kidneys. Destroying your kidneys to young kids is kind of a thing they don't really want to hear. But the one thing you do need to make sure of is it does contain tree nuts in the form of coconut. So if someone is allergic to coconut or tree nuts, this may be a problem for them, and it's just good information to know. But it doesn't have sugars, you're right. And finally, my favorite product that is underrated. This is like this, you guys, this should be like part of every single welcome pack that this one needs to be part of everything because it is so effective in controlling inflammation. I think most people think of Ease as an alternative to an NSAID like Aleve or Tylenol or ibuprofen, which is great. And it definitely can be. And as people notice that their guts get more balanced, this becomes more effective in that camp. So meaning as their gut becomes more balanced, they're able to absorb more nutrients readily absorbed in the small intestine. And then this becomes a lot easier to get to those pain and those nerve centers to combat that, whether it's a tension headache or something else. So this is a great one to include, but I want you to think of it beyond the bottle and think of it as something that everyone needs really on a regular basis. It does have shellfish that's kind of contained, it's made from salmon. So that is something that's important to understand from the lipped mussel powder. But there has been a lot of studies lately, and I don't say studies like as in, Women's Day or something, by like legit nutritional journals have been talking about mussel powder, and specifically green lipped mussel powder from the sea. And this has a very powerful anti-inflammatory component. Mix that with bromelain, which is an enzyme. There's our favorite serrapeptase again. What is that? That's that biofilm buster that kind of is that force field. It busts through that force field of bad bacteria and viruses and in the cell. It kind of gets encapsulated in the cell. If you think about the cell as having this, it's got this membrane around it, and a lot of us are dealing with inflammation at the cell. So why do we have inflammation everywhere else? Because the cell is inflamed. It's the membrane barrier is inflamed and it can't get stuff in and out. So we've got to bust through that. Bromelain, serrapeptase, turmeric. Turmeric is known. I mean, we don't even have to talk about this one. This is a very well-studied component that is fantastic for inflammation. If you do have someone that's on like a blood thinner, like warfarin, Coumadin, Eliquis, you do need to double check and make sure they do want to run this past their physician for sure. It doesn't tell us how much turmeric is in it, so they may be fine, but it can, because it does have an anti-bleeding clotting factor. This is something, it does increase bleeding, but for the most case, this is a very powerful blend because it combats inflammation. You can use this for so many things. And it says take 1 to 3 capsules as needed. Notice how it says as needed. It doesn't say per day. I think that's really, really, really important. So when you have someone that has, maybe they come to you with like insulin resistance, I get that one a lot. What do I do with someone with insulin resistance? Start them on ease and nothing else. Because if they are too toxic and their small intestine is so inflamed, you're not going to absorb anything anyway. And then it's not going to be beneficial. So, so taking 3, you can take 3 capsules as needed. So usually when I'm starting someone that is very inflamed, I'll start 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at lunch or midday, and 3 capsules before bed as a loading dose for like 3 to 4 days. You really can't overdose on this stuff because of the way that it's formulated. I mean, this is a brilliant, brilliant product. It is underutilized. Like, I feel like this should be the flagship product because it is so powerful at combating the inflammation. So inflammation doesn't just reside in one area. It literally is, our bodies are littered with inflammation right now because of all of the toxic burden that is being bombarded on us from a daily perspective of all the things, your products that you use on your face, candles that you burn in your house, things that you clean with, things that you do your laundry with, all that stuff matters on the toxic burden. And it causes our systems to go haywire and say, something's not right. So then it creates this inflammation as a protection. Help combat that inflammation and add ease. You can safely take 1 to 3 capsules as needed. There is no per day that's written right here. And I just want to make sure you all know that. So it really should be a part of every welcome pack. I cannot stress that enough. Some people do have a sensitivity to it. If they are sensitive to shellfish, not that you're alert. Some people may be sensitive to things right at the beginning. And then as they clear their gut and as they get a lower amount of inflammation, they really had a sensitivity or intolerance and not a true allergy. So they may, if they're not able to tolerate like a coconut or something like that at the beginning, they may be able to tolerate it in a little bit once you clear things up. That's part of the process. So Ease is definitely a great product for inflammation. I can't say enough good things about it. I love ease. I think ease is great for muscle recovery. Okay, one more great thing about ease. If you are working out or you are, and even if you're not on a specific exercise regimen, but you know you're going to be moving more and honoring your body through movement, whether you're engaging in cardio or weightlifting, or let's say you're going out and playing with the kids, or let's say you are going to be moving and you're moving a bunch of boxes, or you're going to be engaging in an activity that is going to require more muscle stamina, take 3 to 4 E's before that particular activity, and then take a couple after the activity. And I guarantee you will have a massive muscle recovery. Then you drink an active and it's like thebomb.com. So I love ease. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the synergy of products. So we talked a lot about BioCleanse, ProBio5, and Slim. They are designed to be used in a system. Think of your body and how it synergistically works together in its systems. One thing feeds off of the other. This is why products or companies create product lines. They create them with the intention of to be used within a system. So the BioCleanse can work fine by itself, but it's not going to get the job done as far as clearing up gut health. BioCleanse is not going to be the one you go to for increasing your magnesium absorption. That's just not, no. Hydrate can be, BioCleanse, no. Slim is not going to work by itself. It can do hunger control, but then you're just feeding, like sometimes the prebiotic that's in there, if you aren't cleaning up the bad bacteria, you're just feeding the bad bacteria a good lunch, and it can cause it to go haywire. So there's a reason why those three are used together, and they provide synergy. The other thing that we talk about is hydration from a synergistic perspective. Your cell needs to be able to get the water in. So we talk a lot about have your body weight in ounces of water. If you're thirsty, if you're hungry, you're probably thirsty. And if you're thirsty, it's a sign of dehydration. All those things are true. And that is definitely some great tips that you want to be incorporating into the conversations when you're encouraging someone on their transformation. But coupling greens with hydrate, that spirulina, that superfood, and all of those antioxidants actually help hydration and help the electrolytes get into the cell better. So that's a powerhouse combination to be able to use to be effective in combating that hydration. I saw the labs of someone a couple of days ago that they're like, but Sarah, I drink like half my body weight in ounces of water and I'm drinking all the time. And I'm like, well, do you have an electrolyte on board? I like to do in the morning just a pinch of pink Himalayan salt and with lemon. Is in warm water. That's like my very first thing that I drink in the morning. And that is because Himalayan salt has a ton of electrolyte. It has like 87 different minerals. So it's a great one to start your day. But then at night, I actually combine the hydrate in the greens and the magnesium. Here's a trick, y'all. The magnesium in the greens or in the hydrate actually helps break down the greens grittiness, so it's not as gritty. And if anyone else is taking extra magnesium, if they're on a protocol like that, mix your magnesium powder with your greens and you will not have that gritty taste. Mixing it with collagen also works as well because it binds to the molecules in there and makes it less gritty. So, but the greens and hydrate combination really accelerate hydration. It really gets it into the cell where we need it to get. So the labs of someone that I saw before, they had signs of dehydration. They're like, I'm drinking. I'm like, well, you could be drinking and expelling and not getting enough into the cell where it needs to go. So if your urine is clear, and there's no tinge of yellow whatsoever, you're overhydrating for the point of your kidneys to be excreting too much of the water that you're trying to put in. Add some hydrate before bed. It'll help with the sugar cravings in the morning. It'll help with those. If you have those nighttime cravings, mix a green and a hydrate together. That can get you through that dinner to bedtime. And you're not going to, if any of you are breaking it's not going to break your fast. Really, those rules are dumb, I think, because we need to be intuitive and listening to what our body needs. So greens with hydrate is a great combination and it has that synergistic effect. And really, if you take hydrate with Slim, greens with slim, greens hydrate slim together, greens hydrate slim collagen. I mean, we can like have this whole, multitude of options available that will really help the product. And they were designed and engineered by people that put the thought process in of how are these products going to work together. So this entire line, actually your greens and your hydrate will then help with that feeding and the seeding of the good bacteria to do what it's supposed to do. And then BioCleanse comes in and mops it up and pushes it all out. I mean, this is really these 8, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if you count Slim twice. These 8 products are absolutely the most effective in that initial transformation stage. I'm not saying the other products don't work. They're fine. This though is where you want to start someone. And if you're just new and starting, this is the order that you would start. And I would actually do this first. I put everyone on these 2 first, and then attack this part, and then go to hydration. So when we talk about the synergy of ease and active, both of them are helpful in muscle recovery, but then you get this energy component by sustained activation of nitric oxide. Active, it doesn't contain nitric oxide, but it activates nitric oxide, which is massive for the cell in an oxygenation component. Ease then also helps with that inflammatory response. And then if you actually couple ease with your ProBio 5, you've got like this massive enzyme factor that's why I say when you're starting off, do 3 E's in the morning and a ProBio 5, 3 E's at lunch, and then 3 E's before bed with your ProBio 5. You will see a big difference in that because those enzymes and E's are going to just combat that inflammatory component and then allow that good bacteria to seed even further. So synergy is important, and these products were made for that purpose. So training. I'm going to stop. I wanted to show you real quick some places to go. So product knowledge, if you're new and you're like, I'm never going to remember anything. We don't want you to remember everyone. We want you to use your resources and use your team and use your leaders and use me. Well, you don't abuse me, just use me in small doses because I get bombarded a lot. But I'm glad to help. So with that, there's Flipbook. There's a fantastic Flipbook. I'm going to show you where it is so you know exactly where to go in your account. There's videos, there's product videos. We put together in the pink link page guides to formula. I'm going to show you where that is. There's the Ask Sarah post. I really want to caution you guys of giving me specific cases because I don't know their history, and history is super important. And I'm actually working on, I didn't want to roll that out tonight because it's like too much. And I think it'll be a really good tool for y'all. So we are going to go in in a couple of months or like later in May, once we've got this amazing lineup that's done, we might add another call in there of how to really address those outliers of what do I do when I have someone with MS, or what do I do when I have, I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor because I had that option. I didn't want to do it because I don't feel like that's where my gifts and talent lies. I feel like we can really empower you to help carry that conversation a little bit, and I can help you dig a little deeper. Anyone that's sent me messages, I will help you with how to ask the questions with your customer. So, and I really want to continue to be that resource. I'm trying to figure out a way how to develop that through a funnel. And it's just too much to go into tonight, but I wanted you to, be anticipating that because it is coming. So real quick, I'm going to go to I think you guys can still see my, here we go. Okay. So here is your virtual office. This is mine. So when you go to where it says my account. So if you go in and you go my account, and then I'm going to go to dashboard, you go to the dashboard, and hopefully it'll pop up and you go to training center on the side. Training center is where it says new brand ambassador, start here, click here. So new brand ambassador, start here. This gives you if you're brand spanking new, this is a fantastic place to start. Obviously work with the person your sponsor who brought you on, but this is a great place to go dig around. There's so much information that you can get like a little, paralysis by analysis. So I'm going to show you a place where you can go with product wise. We're going to go all the way down to be a product of the product. And this is where I was telling you about the product catalog flip book. The product catalog itself is the thing similar to the thing that comes in the mail. And then the product cards are other great resource, but this is fantastic for a newbie. So go into the product flip book, and it is this great little flip book. And it walks through, oh, hello, there you are. Hi, Tarl. Authentic health inside and out. It's a lot of the stuff, and it's got the new packaging, like branding with it, which is beautiful. This talks about, the 3-day challenge. But what I love about this is, oh, there's those words again, weed, seed, and feed. And it gives you a little bit more like language to get familiar with, so you know how to engage in those conversations. I realize y'all don't have nutrition degrees. You're not meant to have nutrition degrees. It's okay. But you can be an expert of the product. You can be the one who people go to for, okay, well, tell me more about Triplex. Oh, great. So this is what it does. Just make sure you're not over promising what it does. Say what your experience is with it, and then ask that, what are you looking for? What is it that you're wanting to transform in your own health and wellness journey? And this is a great place to start. So this flip book goes through good parts of all of the products. See how it doesn't have the new packaging, but it has glimpses of the new packaging. I like how they did that. That was really strategic and smart. So this is a great resource for you guys to be able to look there. And then these product cards are another great resource. So this is one where you can flip through, and it kind of tells you a little bit about each one and its suggested use. There's the talking points that are compliant. They're within compliance. So this is legit and good. And it'll keep you in compliance. If you're, putting something out on social media, or the conversations that you're having, when you're talking your own experiences, those are your experiences. So do what the product says it does for you. But just remember, everyone's story is different and everyone's biochemistry is different. So you're trying to help them figure out, position the product that aligns with their particular transformation goal. So it goes through all of the products. I think you get the gist there. And then another thing that I wanted to show you is when you are looking, so I went in as oh, hey, I want to sign up as a new person, or I'm going to be a VIP. This is where the welcome, these are the products that they get to choose. Most of you know this, but I think it's really good to walk through the customer experience to understand what it is that they see. And this is, we can choose our own. So what I would recommend is the, this custom advanced welcome pack. When you look at it, you can add, oh, you're already registered. That's funny. Okay. Yes, I am. You can add the, that's where you can add your bottle of ease. So that, right, that's going to go in with every product that you're going to recommend, because everybody needs to be on ease. I do believe that. That's the one product that I think everyone needs to be on right away from the start. So it's not, my internet's slow and it's not letting me go back. So when you're choosing a custom welcome pack, you always have to choose a slim. So based on where they are, where they are in their journey, pick the appropriate slim based on the parameters that we discussed tonight. If you get stuck, it's okay. Ask your people. Then they know, they've been doing this for a while. Triplex is always the place to start. It just is. Unless you have someone that is super inflamed and super sensitive and really has a host of problems, start them on ease and active first, period. You can even do an ease active hydrate combo pack. And that's a really good one too, because you're getting that hydration component, which also helps with that inflammatory response. And then this is where I think somebody had asked about what were the welcome or the combo packs were available. I don't know why I had this up. I can't remember. I've done more since then. So I had a purpose for that, but I'm not sure. I don't remember what it was. And then I wanted to take you to our Facebook page. So in the, oh, you guys are going to see like all of the comments are coming up now. In the pink link Facebook page, we have this little section called guides. Everyone needs to become familiar with the guides because this is where your leaders are popping in product information and training, business training information, and a whole host of other things. So Plexus products, how to get started. Those of you that are new, go to guide 1, click on this, and it will tell you, it will give you a description of all of the options that are available, how to start them, when to place it. This is great for that everyday person that really doesn't have a whole host of issues, that has the, you know what, I'm looking to lose, my goal is to lose weight. And y'all know what I feel about chasing weight. I think it's the wrong way. The wrong WEIGH and the wrong WAY. Chase the why of why they're wanting to lose the weight. Oh, you have weight. Well, because there's something going on in your system, you're so inflamed. You know what you can do is we can combat that inflammation. This is yada, yada, yada. Or this is the transformation journey you might want to go upon. Let's go after gut health and let's not worry about that. Will come when we address all these underlying issues. So this particular guide is amazing because it gives you all of the places of where to get started. And it tells you about what the combo packs are. So it's a really great spot. And it's a really great, just become a product of the product, meaning also become a product of, oh, I know what these things do. And this is how I can combine them together. And this is, I mean, you're literally kind of giving them a recommendation without having to be the expert. It's already done for you. I love that. And then within this particular guide 1 is you have all, this came from our, when we did the new you in 22, we went over some main products. You can go in and read a lot of the things that we talked about tonight. So, you know, in all your extra spare time, pick one product a week and get really comfortable with it. That would be my recommendation, is if you don't know a product, go in and master it to be like, okay, this is something new that I'm going to learn and something that I'm going to incorporate. There's Jana. Hi. She's got a great little history of Slim. It's a good one for new people. So that's a great guide to start. I need to move my little thing here so we can see. And then the other guides that are available are because of Plexus. These are great testimonies. They did a whole, I think like 12 days of Plexus, and there's some great testimony pieces there. Can give you some really good talking language too. And then let's see, there is I do want to give a little bit of Jen and I were really ambitious and we're like, yes, let's do Pink Link University. It's still going to happen. We should have never rolled it out at the end of a year going into a new year. So that is on hold. I mean, we're coming up with some training components and still going to put that together for you, but just not as ambitious as we thought we could be in December and January. But it is coming. I love the Monday night calls. So I think this is a great place to start. Ask a Jewel. This is a great place to get go to information to ask, hey, I've got a business question. Go in here, click on this post, and you can literally, under this post where it says comments, you can literally ask any business question and a Jewel from the team will answer your question. And then the guide 7 right below that is me. Ask Sarah. You can go into this comment section and ask your question here. If you can tag people, that's fine. I totally don't mind. I try to answer the questions as best. If it gets super personal or super like specific, that might be the time when they may need something other than that. And I do have a service for people as well, which I will talk about in that next particular call, just because I'm working on how to flow that a little bit better. And how to price that for you guys. Because I do want to make that available because there are some definite benefits of being able to target you specifically and work with the products that are specific for you that are on those outliers. So the guide section in the discussion or in that Pink Link University are a great place to go for your, oh, there's Jana again, are a great place to go for those questions of, how to find your products, or I can't say enough about these getting started guides are a really, really, really great place to go. I'm trying to move that. There we go. Try to move this so I can get out of there. So when we go back to the Pink Lake University, that's where it lives, is under this guide section. And some of the things maybe in the featured section. So like new ambassadors, start here. Amy had a training, start here, how to share. So this is a good spot to go. I just thought I'd go over that because there are support things for you guys to be able to do that. So getting close to the end here. Curiously, I want to know right now, and you can unmute or put it in the chat or whatever. How are you currently recommending products? Oh no. Everyone okay? Oh, someone's in a hailstorm. Oh dear. Amber, I hope you're okay. I didn't see the chat as I was going.
What do you mean?
How do you currently recommend products? Like how do you decide what to give, what to send to people? What to say? This is a thought. This is a question that I'm just curious, as if you've like, oh, do I have a system? Do I not have a system? What questions am I asking them? It's kind of what I was getting to when I was like, do you utilize the quiz? The quiz is.
I do.
Oh, go ahead.
I usually always go off Slim Activities or Triplex or a combination of those if they're willing to spend the money. So if I know they're coming to me and they already know about gut health, they know they're wanting to target that, then I'm going to start them on Triplex and usually get them to add on ease. And then if I can tell though, and everybody here that's sold Plexus, they know this, you get somebody and you're like, I know by their wording, I know by what they're saying, they're going to want instant results.
Yep.
And they're going to want to feel something instantly. I'm going to probably start them on Slim Active Ease. And then from there, we'll talk about add-on products. And if it gets to where we've added on several products, then that's when we'll go to a 209 pack that we can get all those products in on. But that's how, I sell mostly either Triplex or Slim Active Ease, and we add on products as needed. That's how I've done. And that's pretty much how I've always trained my team to do.
Awesome. I was also thinking about, I see someone else saying, I usually, for questions, I'll ask what their goal is. I think that's a great thing too, is like, okay, before you start recommending products, finding out where they are on their journey and finding out with that, transformation. What's your goal what does transformation mean to you? Like, I think that's a really great question to ask too, because transformation, you may assume that they want transformation as far as quick results in the form of weight loss or whatever. And usually that's why people come. I get that. I heard a saying recently where they say, sell them what they want, but then really give them what they need. So they're wanting weight loss, but you're really going to give them the system to really have sustained weight loss over the course of a time. If they're looking for those quick results, you'll need to just quickly say, you're not going to have quick results, really. Like, you're not going to drop 10 pounds in the first whatever. It's not going to happen when you're addressing this much inflammation, which most people are inflamed. A lot of people are. But that's a great point, is that Active Ease and Slim are perfect for that instant results, like perceived results in the form of, I want to feel better.
Right.
Because
also, then that's when that opens the door for me, so that then month 2 we can talk. They're feeling better, so mentally they feel better. So now let's really talk about what your real health goals are. Okay. Let's get to the core of it, so we can give you what you want, but don't know that you want yet.
Right. Like you sell them what they want, but then you give them what they need. Yeah. A lot of people, the quiz is great. A lot of people say that they're using the quiz, which is good. And then the outliers, that's the thing. Like, what do you do with those outliers? That's the part that we're going to be developing next, is how to help you manage and navigate through that. Like I said, it would be like a 3-hour call if we did that tonight. And we've already been on for right at an hour. This is good. So, here is the thing that I want to kind of like close with, so to speak. I'm going to start my little slideshow again because I think my picture will come up on this one. Good things take time. I pulled this from my Plexus print. So good things take time. I think that's really good things take time. Good things as in results, good things as in understanding product knowledge, understanding the business model, your own transformation. It takes time, and the timeline is relative to you and where you need to be, because you're meeting people, you have your journey. Everyone here is on a journey. But the other thing is too, is that you're meeting people where they are on their journey, and how do you help position those products to be super effective with the information that you can feel comfortable sharing along with your story, that's going to pull them in, and then hearing their story and figuring out, okay, yep, you sound like you're inflamed. Let's give you some ease, because everybody needs to be on ease. So that kind of wraps up my really high level quick product information of the 8 products that are, like the trifecta, the triplex, the triple threat, and then the Fab 4, which is what I'm going to be calling them, which is your active, ease, greens, and hydrate. I think those are great add-on products. But I definitely would, if you're always go to triplex, I would just recommend that ease right along with it, because they're going to see the results faster. Honestly, they just has. Is there such a thing as too much ease in a day? That's going to be individual. I think, I would say, like, kind of go by how you're feeling. I typically start someone on 9. That's like the max that I go. 3 because it says I'm using like the 3 in the morning, 3 in the midday, and then 3 at night. That usually will allow it to be like in the serum level a little bit longer. So 4 to 8 a day, that's fine. It says as needed, as you need. So ordering ease now. Yes, Kylie, you need ease. I definitely, if you've kind of seen like a drop off of what you've personally experienced, here's the other thing too, y'all. If you've been on these products for a prolonged period of time, you may see some desensitization. Like, our bodies are adaptive. So, switching it out is okay. Switching around when you take your probiotic is fine. Adding a greens or a hydrate would be good. Adding ease in there. We'll hit some other products later on. Like we'll kind of do the other products later. These were my favorite. Janice said, pick your favorite. I'm like, well, this is it. Like right here, this is what I use Plexus for. I definitely feel like adaptive metabolism is a real thing. Your body, God designed us to be adaptive. We adapt to our environment all the time. So how do we help combat all of that? And how do we keep it going to where we don't get adapted to the products? Because if you've been on them for a prolonged period of time, that could happen too. So switching it up is adding a new one in the mix is great. And if you haven't had ease, you need some. You just do, even if it's just one a day. Anything else, Jenna?
I think we're good. I think we are going to wrap it up. I know it has been a long night for a lot of us, but a very, very exciting night. And I know a lot of you dig this stuff. Like you're like Sarah, and you are just geeking out on all of the stuff she said tonight. And it was so good. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your knowledge and for sharing it with us. And I mean, I had pages and pages of notes. So I want to go ahead and close it out. Sarah will be back. We will do another call because we still have lots to cover. We still have a lot of things that I know you guys have questions about. You can hire Sarah. If you get off the call tonight and you're like, I need extra help, Sarah is available. You can hire her. She has a great website you can go to and get signed up. So anyway,
let me say something about that real quick. That is something that Jonathan and I have done, and you guys have seen pictures of, pardon my voice, it's weird since COVID every once in a while, but you guys have seen pictures of physical changes. What you can't see is, as those physical changes are taking place, mental changes are taking place, and emotional changes are taking place, and all the things. And so She is fantastic. I've recommended her already to a couple of people that have signed up with her, and I'm excited for them, for their journey with you, Sarah, because you're so good at it.
No,
And
thank you.
thank you so much for your time. And Jana, thank you so much for bringing Sarah Gallander into our lives. Jana and Ann Scahill, thank you so much for bringing Sarah into our lives. And by the way, we are fine. We were through a tornado warning as well. We have dents all over our truck, but we are fine. It was a huge hailstorm, so yay.
Well,
That's
thank
all.
you guys. I really appreciate it. And I love doing this. I mean, I would stay up late at night, like answering everyone's questions, but I'm setting boundaries, and that's good. But it is my passion to make sure that everybody understands that their journey is their journey, and that you have a say in your wellness. And my goal in my company and my business and what I do is helping you understand your story to the point of then you know what to do next. Because if we don't understand where we are, how can we understand where we're going? And wellness is very personal. And it is very achievable. And everyone has the opportunity to do that. And Plexus has great tools. They are tools. They are not a magic pill. Pills are information. Supplements are information for your body to use, not do the work for you. So you do have to do the work. Like, you've got to step alongside it. And really, there's that synergy component again, using the products to work with your body to then synergistically have that transformation that you're looking for. And it can happen. And just be patient. Good things take time. It's just super excited. Okay, Vanessa's asking. I'll put my website in the chat for y'all. Thank you. So I love helping people, and I'm really thankful for Jana, for letting me be a part of y'all's lives and just help educate. I think education is, if I could, I taught nutrition for like 20 years with and I love doing it, and I love being here. And
it's very obvious that you love doing it, and that you're very good at it. You're very passionate about it. And what you said, I love people. By the way, that's all it takes to be a successful Plexus ambassador.
Yes.
To love people.
Yes.
To love people. Sarah, thank you so
welcome. You're so welcome. Do I need to change? Oh, you can.
You're freezing, Amber.
Anybody? Can y'all hear me?
Now we can
now.
Well,
you're frozen. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. And I don't know who the host is, so I don't know if it's still Sarah or Amber, but let's wrap it up. Don't leave this call thinking you need to remember everything Sarah taught you tonight. I just like every once in a while us to have more product knowledge so that we just continue to grow, so that as we share, we're more confident sharers. I think that is important. So, all right, guys, we will see you soon. Watch for that surprise coming tomorrow. Yay. Bye, guys.
I made you host, Jana.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.